Do you like comic books and want some recommendations from a guy with no qualifications? Well, this video is for you. Trust me, you'll like these. And if you don't, I'll send you like $10. I don't know. So is there like such thing as being qualified to recommend comic books? Like, is there qualified people that recommend reading material? I guess that's like a teacher, right? Number 1, Invincible. Written by Robert Kirkman in 2003. You've seen the series. I assume you've seen the Amazon series, because if you haven't, you're lacking. Like, what are you doing? You should watch it. It's really good. But if you want to read the comic first, then do that. Genuinely, I do think this is a good starting point for like new comic book readers. The problem with a lot of modern day comics is that they are building off of like 80 years of content. And with a character like Batman, there's a lot of resets, but there's also a lot of content that people have to read to get caught up. And that's what a lot of people discover, and then they kind of like get scared. So Invincible is a really good comic to start with because it has a set-in-stone beginning and conclusion. You read like 140 issues, and that's the end of that story. Pretty good place to start, and it's not really intimidating. And also, there's like a lot of murder in it. There's a lot of like blood and guts and stuff, and it's really cool. It's really cool to my monkey brain. If you have a monkey brain too, you'll like it. It's awesome. Also, the Amazon series only adapts the first like 10 to 15 issues of the book, so if you're interested in seeing more, definitely pick up the compendiums and read on. Because I mean, it's gonna be forever till we get season 3, am I right? Just give it to me, please.
Think, Mark!
Number 2 is Batman Black Mirror. This is probably one of the best Batman stories I've ever read. Batman Black Mirror is a story that follows Dick Grayson's Batman instead of Bruce Wayne. It takes place after Battle for the Cowl, when Bruce disappears, and then Dick and Jason have to fight for it, and Jason does a bunch of murder, and Dick Grayson comes out on top as Batman. Spoilers, by the way, my bad. It's written by Scott Snyder, which also made one of the best Batman story arcs ever created, Court of Owls. Pretty much the entirety of New 52 Batman is just one of the best versions of Batman ever created, and Scott Snyder is responsible for that. It's a very short read, it's only 10 issues, so you can just breeze through it, and it's just about Dick Grayson taking out a bunch of villains, and this one like black market supervillain who's selling weapons to those other villains. It's a really cool book, so I definitely recommend. Also, I mean, Dick Grayson's a smoke show. I mean, have you seen his butt? I mean, come on. Why do they keep sexualizing him? Number 3 is Spider-Man Life Story. This is a comic that follows Spider-Man as if he aged in real time from his creation. And each issue jumps 10 years, so issue 2 is in the 70s, and then 80s, 90s, 2000s, etc. It also kind of condenses a bunch of different Spider-Man arcs, like one of the issues, I think the 90s one, focuses on the Clone Saga. It's just a really cool Elseworld to see what Spider-Man would have been like if he actually aged as time progressed, instead of being stuck as a teenager and then stuck as a young adult who doesn't have money and who breaks up with Mary Jane every couple seconds. I mean, seriously, what are they thinking? You know, why do they keep breaking them up? Like, just let him have a happy ending. You have other Spider-Men. You have Miles Morales. He can be the relatable high school student, and Peter Parker can be happy with Mary Jane. I mean, Gwen Stacy died. You know, Betty Brant doesn't like him anymore. You know, Black Cat is off doing other things, but he's still trying to cheat on MJ with her. You know, it's just let him have a happy relationship, please. They also made a Fantastic Four life story. I haven't read it yet. I haven't formed my own opinion, but I've heard it's not as good, but I'm sure it's fine. I'll check it out at some point. Anyway, Spider-Man Life Story is pretty good, so you should read it. Number 4, Batman 89. So after Batman Forever, Tim Burton was actually going to make a Batman 3 where Robin was a main focus of the film. Played by Marlon Wayans, and he would have been a big pivotal part of that movie, and he would have, been his sidekick. I also believe it was planned that Billy D. Williams as Harvey Dent would have become Two-Face. That movie never happened, so they made this comic book instead. They also made Superman 78. That's not on the list, but you can go read it. I mean, do what you want. I don't care. So it's pretty cool, but it might not be canon anymore because of the Flash movie. I don't know. Number 5, Iron Man 3. The movie. I don't know. This one's kind of like a comic book. I mean, it's cheesy. I enjoy Iron Man 3. I don't know why people don't. I think it's one of the most comic booky, absurd Marvel movies ever made. And I mean, if the Mandarin twist really hurts you that much, just don't watch it. But honestly, get over it. And I know what you're going to say, but the Mandarin is like Iron Man's Joker. No, he's not. You know how I know? Because the Joker is an icon. He's an A-list villain. Everyone knows his name, and he has a solo movie. Does the Mandarin have that? No, he doesn't.
This is the Mandarin?
I know, it's embarrassing.
Hi, Trevor Slattery.
Number 6, Star Wars. Tag and Bink. This series is genuinely absurd. So basically this series follows 2 characters, Tag and Bink, and they're responsible for pretty much everything that happens in Star Wars. For instance, in the first Star Wars, where Obi-Wan Kenobi turns off the Death Star shields, it turns out he turns off a tractor beam, not the shields. So, correction to me, my bad. Tag and Bink are the 2 stormtroopers that just ignore him and let him do his thing, because they're having a little scuffle. It's basically showing that everything stupid in Star Wars happens because of these 2 people. Is it canon? I mean, no chance in hell is this canon. Are you stupid? Why would you think that's canon? But it's funny. I think you should read it. Speed bonus round. Here we go. Spidey, freshman year. It's a book that's made for children, but I really like it. I think it's good. Captain America, the First Avenger. Really good movie. Best MCU movie ever made. I don't care what you think. Don't judge me. Batman. Just pick up a Batman comic and read it. Those are pretty good. Most of them are pretty good. Not this one, though. Don't read this one. If you read this one, you're gonna die. You're gonna die a terrible death because you read it and because you paid for it. So don't read it. Please don't read it. I beg you, please don't read it. I know you're gonna do the thing where I told you not to read it, so you're gonna go read it, but just trust me, don't read it. I swear to God, if you read it, I'll find you. All-Star Superman, good comic. People like it. Anyway, that's the end of the video. Hope you enjoyed my recommendations. I know I did. I know I enjoyed looking into these and reading them beforehand and telling you to read them also. Let me know in the comments below if you guys have any other recommendations and tell me if you check any of these out because of me, because that would be pretty cool. I appreciate the feedback. Anyway, click on the video that's recommended to you on the screen. I think it should be pretty good. I like yeah, it's that one. And remember to like and comment and stuff. I don't care. Do what you want. See you guys later.